So far on Alex Builds, and despite having no building experience, I decided to build an old style barn on a massively sloping plot. I bought some stone and built a test wall, got some trees cut down, then hired a digger, with which I ruined my garden, pulled out 2 tree stumps, dug some trenches, cocked up those trenches and fixed the trenches. I built a concrete chute through which we cocked up the concrete pour which set with a slope, which we fixed by cutting loads of trench blocks and laying them to offset the slope. I then got my act together, but it snowed and rained really hard. But eventually, we got them all in. Great news, folks. It's back. It's the 3-ton digger. I got it for the whole weekend. My only concern is the poor little Avant might get a bit jealous. Anyway. Time to start moving some earth back around the site. So here we go, this is the start, and obviously we're just shoveling in a load of earth. Now, the observant amongst you will notice we're a bit out of sequence, because if you look at the end of the block work, we've not filled in the end section, and that was actually covered in the last video. So there's a bit of overlap. I started this job before I'd finished the block work. But as well as filling up the outside and getting soil in, the bit that I've got to deal with is I've got to deal with the far side. So if you look at the top right hand corner, there's a big drop down there. And here it is. And what I've got to do is I've got to build up a nice steep bank of earth all the way up to the top. And look what we have here. A bank. Now I've got to tidy up the footpath because some spoiler's gone on there. And I'll doubtless have the parish council on my back if I don't do something about that. But that looks pretty smart. Right, today is drainage day. I'm joined here by Gareth.
Hello.
My old mate. So we've got a pair of hands. That's the first time I've ever had another pair of hands on it. So he says. So what we're going to do is we have a yellow line down here. We've got this soil pipe we've exposed. Well, sorry, not a soil pipe, a waste pipe, perforated waste pipe that comes from our septic tank. And it's still letting out foul water. So we're going to dig some drainage and put a perforated pipe down the line of this yellow line. That's job number 1. And what we're going to do at the bottom here is we're going to put some soakaway crates in as well, and we're also going to dig a line which I've not marked back, but we're going to dig back to the site and we're going to put some actual drains in as well. There's a good opportunity to do it before the aggregate comes tomorrow.
Whoa, 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 no, no, no. This side, this way. No, 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 no. This is it. That's the pipe there. You're going to hit it. Just like expose it. Oh, okay. Whoa! 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 For Christ's sake! What's that?
But here we are, it's Gareth on a cuppa, front of site. So we've got our first trench here. This, we'll just have to dig out by hand, gives us a regular drainage down, coming down into here. Now we have another foul pipe from yesteryear working from next door. As you can see going in there, so this is going to drain in as well. This was actually going all the way through out the other side and into the woods, which it shouldn't have been doing. So I'm going to do my neighbour a favour and deal with that. On the other side, I've got the trench going to my own foul water supply. Now I'm not really sure if foul water is supposed to go into these crates, but I'm going to do it and bury it well. Okay, you want to lift that up? Well, I'm going to put gravel around it. We've just done a hose pipe test. It's been suggested that it might have been a good idea to do the hose pipe test before we buried all the pipes. Don't worry, it's coming through here. So we've got drainage to the left, solid pipe. We've got the perforated pipe exposed up there. That's for hooking up later on. We've dealt with an old soil pipe down here. The sooner that's buried, the better. Ready for the aggregate tomorrow. So that's a good job done.
Good job, well done.
Cool. Thanks for helping out, Gareth.
No problem.
So this was the next day. Still had Gareth here helping me out, and I had ordered 3 lots of 20 tons of MOT Type 1 aggregate, basically a load of stones. First driver turned up, he reversed all the way down the lane. He felt he'd scratched his lorry and he was in a very bad mood, so much so that the aggregate company said they wouldn't come and bring the other loads, but I managed to convince them that they actually could come in forwards and turn. In terms of moving the aggregate, it's just a case really of shoveling and scraping it back from the drive. Remember, there is a slope heading down which does help us out, and then getting it within the actual area itself where the block work is. Building regs guy said to me, put 300mm down at a time and whacker plate it down. So you can see that's what I'm doing here, which is roughly the height of one course of those trench blocks. So here what I've done is I've scraped some of this down, I've made a pile here, and now I can start to drop it in with a view to really just getting a layer of it all across the site. Very hard to estimate the quantities of this stuff, by the way. I mean, it's a bit like concrete. You can kind of work out the cubic meters and the weight of the stuff, which I did, but it just doesn't account for, the undulations. First bit of whacker plating. I mean, again, it's not a hard bond that I'm doing at this point. I'm really just trying to get it in and get it level. Well, that was about 2 weeks of effort, weekends only, 60 tons of aggregate, a lot of hard work with some help from Gareth. Thanks, Gareth. And at this stage, well, there was only one thing left to do, and there was absolutely no good reason to do this whatsoever. I just fancied it. Well, if you haven't already watched episode 9, Concrete Pour Goes Wrong, you'll understand why I'm describing concrete as my demons. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. If you could give it a like, subscribe, that'd be great. And if you leave me a comment, I generally reply to them. Thanks so much for watching, and see you next time.